Hi, welcome to 10 in 10, where we're going to try to show you 10 cool things with educational technology in 10 minutes. So today, we're going to try to show you 10 things that come on your iPad right out of the box that you don't have to go out and buy anything, you don't have to do anything with it. They come right on the iPad, so 10 cool tools that you can use right out of the box. So let's get going. Our very first tool is the camera. So with the camera, I'm going to show you some of the people that are around there. There's Ashton right there. So you can take a regular photo, you can take a square photo, and you can, so that's one cool thing. That's one cool thing is the photos that'll show up. But you can also take video, so you can actually do video as well. So right out of the camera, there's Ashton. There, we're taking a video of her, and there's a video of me. So you can actually do video right out of the box. You can actually do digital cameras right out of the box. So that's some of the cool things. That's two of the cool things that are come out of the box with the iPad. So let's look at some more real quick before we run out of time. The next one is speech to text. And what that means is you can actually talk to your iPad and it'll turn your speech into text. Let me show you how that works. So in any of the newer iPads, not some of the old ones, but the newer iPads, which we see a lot of out in our campuses, when you pull up the keyboard down in the lower left-hand corner, there's a little microphone. So if you have an iPhone, then you're probably familiar with this already. But if you're not, that little microphone there means you can talk to your iPad. So let's see how this works. I am testing the text to speech. Nope, I didn't mean to say that. I meant speech to text. So after I say that, what happens in just a few seconds is it comes up and look what it says. It says, I'm testing the text to speech. Nope, I didn't mean to say that. I meant speech to text. So that's another really cool thing. It comes right out of it. So our students that are having problems writing, or they might have mobility issues, they might have some kind of problem where they aren't actually working really well with their fingers, they're having trouble typing, they can actually talk to the device. So you can actually then do the opposite on your iPad. You can actually take text and turn it into speech. So for instance, all you got to do is highlight what's already there. So I'm going to select everything that's there, and we're going to have the computer or the iPad talk back to us. So we're going to hit speech.
I am testing the text to speech. Nope, I didn't mean to say that. I meant speech to text.
So it sounds a little bit like a lady robot, and that's true, but this is great for students that have written something. It can speak what they've written back to them. It'll talk to them. Especially if they've misspelled a word, it actually will. It'll talk out the misspelled word, so they can actually see where the misspelled word shows up. If they need to add a comma, it'll tell them because it'll be really poorly spoken out. It'll just run right through it. If they need to add a question mark, any kind of punctuation, this is a great thing to do. So text to speech, speech to text. Two things right out of the box with your iPad. So let's look at some other things that you can get. One of the things you can get with your iPad is podcasts. And podcasts are really neat, kind of like radio shows. They can also be like little short television shows. There are thousands and thousands of podcasts. What I like to do is look at the podcasts that have to do with education. So you can see that there's podcasts that are in video. You can also click on the ones that are just audio. There's tons and tons of them. And if you're interested in just the education ones, you can talk about history. But if you look, for instance, right here, I'm scrolling through ones that all have to do with history. So just think of all the things you can do with history. So students you can use these for students that may have gotten to the end of their assignment a little ahead of time. You can have them go listen to a podcast or watch a podcast. And it's almost any topic that you can think of. But please vet those for your students before you let them go see it. Okay, so podcast is one of them. Okay, so that's 5 that we've gone through. That's amazing. So let's see, we've done that one already. We've done that one. And the next one we want to talk about are online courses. Right out of the box, your iPad has something called iTunes U already built into it. And iTunes U has tons and tons and tons of courses that are already built into it. So for instance, right here, I'm looking at ones that have to do from the Texas Education Agency. And so you can actually go back and you can click on the featured library, and it'll pop out and show you all the different ones that are out there. And these are real courses. It's not like just like from any place. Look at, for instance, this one. it's about from Stanford University. There's ones from Harvard. There's ones from Yale. There's even ones from New Mexico State. Has courses on the iPad, and you can get them for free. They're absolutely for free. So look at these. Science in Action from the California Academy of Sciences. Entire courses on ecology and astronomy and biology. Absolutely free. Great for RTI. Great for your students that are going in a little bit advanced. Great for students that want to look a little bit more in depth into your topics. So that's 6 that we've talked about already, I think. So let's look a little bit more. Let's say we got that, that. Next one are free books. You have the ability to download tons of free books right on your iPad from iBooks. So say for instance, I go to the iBooks store here, and I want to find books that are in the public domain, things that you're probably familiar with. Sherlock Holmes, Moby Dick, The Great Gatsby, those ones that are in the public domain are all free. You don't have to go buy it. Your students don't have to go buy the books. They're already there. So for instance, I typed in Sherlock Holmes just because I know it's in the public domain. And if I looked right there in the upper left-hand corner, I can see I've got this free Sherlock Holmes book, the entire adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I just highlight it and I click free, and it'll ask me to download it, and that's all I got to do. And so there it gives you a little description. I can download a sample, or I can download the entire book. Free books. 35,000 books in Project Gutenberg are all available on the iBook store. So just in those just for those topics. Okay, so that's 7. Let's see what else we got. We've got a voice recorder. Voice recorder is a great little tool. Students that are working on a speech or students that are working on something, they can record their voice and it'll play it back. They can also download their voice. They can send their little file email to their teacher or something else. So this is a great thing. All you got to do is hit the record button. It'll record that voice back, and they can either play it in class, listen to it, or they can actually just mail it to themselves, listen to it at home on their own device if they got a device at home, or listen to it tomorrow in class. Great tool for students that are English language learners. They're trying to learn to pronounce particular words. This is a great tool for them to use. Okay, we did the iTunes U, we did the podcast, did the camera, we did the Safari, we did the now. The last one is a stopwatch. There's a program built in called the clock, and clock actually has 2 things built into it that you may not know about it. One of them is a stopwatch. All you got to do is hit so if you're a coach or if you're a science teacher and you're timing a reaction or something like that, all you got to do is hit the start button and it times it. And any coach in EPISD knows about laps, and something happens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you can record these. Great tool, stopwatch. That's another one. But another neat one down there at the bottom is timer. Timer down at the bottom. If you ask your students to do something and you say, you guys have 5 minutes to do it. You only got 5 minutes. You can actually set, or you got 1 minute to do it. You can set it for any time and click the start button, and there it goes. And so I know that when I was in the classroom, I would get lost. I would tell students, you got 5 minutes to go, and I had no idea if I was 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So stopwatch, timer, text to speech, speech to text, iTunes U, podcasts. Let's see, what else did we have? We have a camera, we have a digital still camera, we have a digital video camera. We also have, let's see, we also had a voice recorder, and I think that's all we had. We had free books on iBooks, on the iBook store. We had lots of free books available, and like the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So start exploring your iPad. There's lots of free stuff available. It's a cool tool. You can't break it unless you drop it on the floor. So have fun. That's 10 in 10 minutes.